Hello, everybody. Happy Thursday. How are you guys? We are back once again for another live stream to give feedback on your music. This is my favorite time of the week. I hope it's yours. Let me just get the gain up on my mic a little bit. I feel like it could be louder. How's that? I think that's better, right? No mic issues at the beginning of this stream compared to the other day, which I'm sorry. I know that was a complete mess, but you know what? Technical challenges happen to the best of us. So if you're new to the stream, welcome. All genres are welcome. You can submit whatever you want, whether you're a beginner, intermediate, or pro. The link is in the description below. And if you don't want to submit any music and you just want to hang out and be inspired by all the amazing people who are uploading their music to the stream, well, you can do that. So let's see who's here. Morgan, what's up? Nishay, what's up? Deepak, what is up? What is up, everybody? How are you guys doing? You having a good week so far? I feel like there's less people here today, but maybe the weather's really good. Is the weather good where you guys are? Are you like just having a good time? Out getting some beers? I wouldn't blame you. I mean, it's important to enjoy yourselves, right? Otherwise, you know, I know we should say, oh, we got to touch grass sometimes. We got to get out the studio, but it's time to be in the studio because it's live stream. I guess you could watch this from anywhere, right? If you have YouTube on your phone. Could be chilling in a park with your friends, ready to listen to some new tunes. Grisha, thank you for asking. My finger is much better. As you can see, it's just a small scar now. I did tear that bitch open. But I'm okay now. I don't know if any of you saw that. They put stitches in and they took them out. What up, Jason? What up, Dominic? Great to have you all here, everybody. We got the gang in the house. And we got this awesome song playing in the background, which is by Morgan. So anyone who wants to join the live stream, it's live on YouTube. If you're tuning in from Instagram, head to the link in my bio. Come to the YouTube live stream. You'll see there, it'll say live stream. Click on that, and then it'll be very obvious. And from there, there's a link in the description where you can upload your music. So, should we run through the rules really quickly? I hate the word rules. It makes it sound like we're at school. Should I run through the... let's run through the motions. So, number one, I love it when everyone gives feedback to one another. So not just me, when other people are helping each other out. Sometimes it helps me pick out things that I haven't missed. So if you want to give feedback to one another, write it in the chat. That's totally cool. But just remember to be nice, be constructive. At the end of the day, if you're rude about it, it's not helpful. And plus, I'm just going to block ya. Secondly, if you do want feedback on your track, please don't spam the chat. Okay, now today, we are going to be a little bit more focused on verified users. So those are people with verified accounts in Boombox, which looks like this. You can see here. If you want to upgrade your account, you can do that. I'm going to drop the link in the chat right now. And the best way to think of upgrading your account is you're buying me a cup of coffee every month for the next year. And you get to come to 8 feedback sessions every single week, every single month. 8 feedback sessions a month for 1 cup of coffee, which is like deal of the century. If you ask me. I used to charge $75 per feedback, and now you can get it for the price of a cup of coffee. And this is more than just about feedback. This is about this awesome community that we have here and the fact that we all get to hang out on a weekly basis. For the first time ever, the fan on my laptop is going off, which is interesting because usually it never does. But maybe, you know, like sometimes when laptops, like you've had them for like a year or whatever, and all of a sudden they start whirring. Decaf or calf? I'm back on the caffeine actually. I did go decaf for a while. I did decaf for like 3 months, and it was okay, but life is too short. You know, it's coffee. I don't drink anything else. All right, guys, please write the name of your chat in the chat. And I forgot to, there was one more thing, one more motion. If you like a track, write PL in the chat and I'll add it to the top picks playlist. Awesome. So we've got some uploads complete. Let's go. Lots of people uploading. This is really cool. Okay. I think there's not a lot of uploads today. Maybe the weather is really good everywhere. But I guess it is summer, so people are like getting out more, which I'm really happy about, to be honest. But let's add some of these to the queue, shall we? Revenge. You guys are making a lot of music, I have to say. I am super impressed. Okay. Bullets may fly. Let's add that. All right. Where are we at? Okay, it's a good start. All right. This is Singularity by Tekase.
I don't need you to go. I don't want you to stay with me. Open up your heart. I don't want you to know. I want you to know.
Thank you, Takase. That is a fantastic track, and what a way to start the live stream. The sun's going down, and this is exactly what I would want to hear at sunset with some friends on the beach, just taking in the day. I think you've really set the scene there. Beautiful production, fantastic vocals. You said in the chat that you need to redo the vocals. That was actually one of the first things that I thought. Okay, so one, I thought they could come up in the mix, and secondly, I wasn't entirely convinced by how the performance, like the level of pain. I felt like we could just squeeze a little bit more emotion out of you. Overall, I think the sort of synergy between the vocal and the production in the instrumental and the overall production works really well. And I think this is something that you're particularly good at, is marrying all those elements together and making it feel like a complete record. I do think there's opportunity for you to be a little more daring, especially with this din 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 din. It just, there are moments where I want it to just open up and feel, when you open up the cutoff on a synthesizer, and I think cutoff is the obvious one, but also messing around with the ADSR, particularly the decay and the release of a synth, so it can start to swell as you open it, or can start to become even more like more staccato, more plucky, I think would be nice. It just, things are quite beautifully balanced here. I want to feel a degree more separation on that pluck as well. Something I do with a more minimal style track like this, where, I mean, I know you've got a lot of layers, but generally speaking, there's not like a huge amount going on. I would take that, once I'm happy with the automation of that pluck, I would take it, put it on a new channel, I sort of bounce it out, put it on a new channel, and then on that channel do like a distorted version, but like with something nice, like push it really hard through like a tube compressor or something like that, that's going to limit the hell out of it and crush the dynamics. And then but then it's going to give it that sizzle, and then just mix that in, and that should give it like a bit more thickness and a bit more warmth. Obviously be careful because you don't want to take up too much space in the mix. But sometimes if I feel like, I love what this layer is doing, I don't want to edit the sound too much because it's mixed and almost perfect where it is. Let me just create a second version of it, which I'm going to mix into it. So that's about it. And then just the ending, man. I thought the ending was a little bit abrupt. Yeah, I felt like you could actually build to something bigger, like more epic, and then come to this like more relaxed section. Yeah, it just doesn't climax in the way I would expect it to. But overall, fantastic track. Next, we've got Revenge by Deepak Murphy.
this triangle with my revenge. You had to fall. In the shadows I rise with fire in my eyes. A burning desire to watch you aspire. Revenge is my fuel in this world so cruel. Distractions my heart, tearing your world apart. I break every chain and embrace the pain. No mercy, no remorse as I stare at that course. With the name of what's right, I vanquish the night. For in the end you see my revenge will set me free. Revenge, my sweet muse, I never refuse to stand tall and strong until justice belongs.
Very, very cool, Deepak. I love the mix on the instrumental. The choice of sound is. I like how you've also combined some classical sounds with contemporary sounds. Like you've got that sub drop in the section, and it's it's really cool. Now, I like the vocals. I actually love the performance. That kind of super angsty. I'm trying to think who it reminds me of, like kind of Marilyn Manson style vocals. Really, really cool. But the vocals are just sitting so far apart. You've separated them so much from the instrumental that they feel like a completely different record, or they don't feel. I know you're saying you got to work on the mix, but let's talk about that for a second, okay? So when the vocals do come in, it's like either the vocals or there's something that feels really compressed. Now, maybe your limiter or there's a compressor that you have on the master channel is just being slammed as soon as those vocals come in, and it's affecting the instrumental. I feel like it's, I think with the processing, what about just pulling back on the processing a little bit? It feels like one compressor is doing too much work. Okay, so here's a quick tip, guys. Number one, try to avoid using a compressor to start with. Use gain automation, draw it in. Secondly, if you are going to use a compressor and it is overworking, consider using 2 or more compressors. So sometimes I start with a limiter just to clip. Well, it's not clipping, it's just limiting some of the peaks every so often. You know what I mean? And then I actually hit it with 2 compressors, both very gradually doing. Yeah, the vocal is ducking the instrumental a lot. That's what I thought. I was hearing some compression going on. And then the main thing here, Deepak, is making sure that the vocal has the same reverb as the strings, because that's what's going to glue it to that room. It's a very simple trick, but it's really important actually, because otherwise there really are 2 different recordings. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't add additional reverb to the vocal that you like from another reverb unit, but you really need to get the reverb of the strings to the reverb of the and the reverb of the vocal to be the same, to give them that glue, right? The other thing is, like, the vocals feel very mid-focused. They're really like punching through around the kind of 1 to 2K range, which I really like. I feel like that's the magic muscle in vocals. But it's so much so that the instrumental is kind of, again, not so present there, and therefore it's like it's just sitting too far apart. Okay. Next. Here, it's just like you don't do anything to introduce the vocals. You could have put a crash here. You could have cut more stuff out before it. It's just the vocals just kind of come in, a reverse reverb going into the vocal. Like maybe you've got this quite evil cinematic instrumental with a vocal. Like what about like a ha 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 ha? Like, use the vocal as an effect as well. Get some recordings of ad libs and anything that will add character to the sung vocal, that also like keeps the listener involved with the vocalist, rather than you just kind of take the vocal out, there's this really empty section, and then the vocal comes back in again, and there's no glue between those two sections. It just feels a bit random. Okay, next track. This is Morgan Headstrong. This is what we opened with today, and now we get to hear to the full thing. Yeah, like Michael Jackson Thriller, exactly. Beautiful music, as always, from Morgan. Morgan, thank you for sharing this, and thank you for letting me use it as the introduction track to the live stream. So, let's talk about this a little bit. Now, there's something just distracting me in the beginning. Okay, just here. I just wanna... So I think the bass is it's kind of clicky, right? There's a little bit of high frequencies there, and there are some high frequencies coming through on the bass, and then you've got the percussion, which sounds like some sort of like loop or something, and it's shuffled ever so slightly. And what I think is happening, or what I think I'm hearing, is there is a discrepancy, a rhythmic discrepancy between the bass, which is very straight, very quantized, and the loop, which is slightly shuffled, and the high frequencies are kind of clicking, and they're just kind of irritating me ever so slightly. It just doesn't quite let me fall into that like nod, you know, like it's, and dude, I mean, this is like a 3% change here. But if there's a way that you could either tighten the loop to sit more quantized with the bass, or make the bass a little more shuffled to like the loop. So I don't know if you're using Logic or Ableton, but if either one, you can create a groove template out of that loop, which basically sets like transient markers to which you can then quantize other elements in your track. So let's call it loop 1 becomes the groove template, and then you can be like bass quantized to groove template of loop 1, essentially. So you could play around with that and see if that helps. I mean, I like it. Look, you know, I think, Morgan, I think your sound design is always fantastic. What I will say is this: I really want to push you. I made a note of this. I want to push you to push yourself. Okay, I want to encourage you to push yourself. And something you're very good at is layering with sustained sounds and arpeggiated sounds. But what I'm missing from you, man, is like a counter melody. Now, this can come in the form of a vocal, and it can come in the form of a synthesizer. And in the best case scenario, it can be both, a sort of amazing lead synthesizer and an amazing lead vocal, and maybe even some call and response between the two elements. And I want to push you to like take what you've got here and think of it as the sort of the foundation of your track. And now over the top, I want you to start designing and composing some counter melodies with some really strong sounds that are maybe slightly unquantized. They're just bigger. They're not arpeggiated. They're not necessarily following like a digga digga, because even when something's arpeggiated all the time, it's also kind of sustained, right? If it's digga 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 and they're kind of the same thing. So creating that space and those moments will be actually easier, and you'll be able to like chop in and out of that really nice sustained layered instrumentation that you have. And just it needs something, you know what I was thinking of? Not this melody, but I don't know if you guys remember the song by Calvin Harris, Bounce, and it's like dee 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 bounce, do 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 do, like that. I'm not saying do that melody, but that melody is like such a hook, right? So that's something that we all should be sort of working towards, is like, how can we create that melodic hook, right? How can we create that earworm? And if it's not going to come from a vocal, then it's going to come from a synth. Ideally both, but you know what I mean. Okay. But dude, fantastic track. You know, amazing work as always. I just want to see next time, can you come back and give me a counter melody with a call and response? Maybe it could be one synth and another synth, something hard and something soft. You know, but staccato, spread out, just something a little more earwormy. Okay, cool. Next, we've got Hear Your Name by Strandle.
Lost myself again. Oh, how the days go by, through all the ways I've tried. Don't know how to swim out in your ocean tide. Oh, I would drown, but I still hear your name.
Amazing work, man. I wish I could hear more. I'm sad that it's so short, but really cool. I think you should collaborate with Takase, also with Charlie Morris, who I think is still in the chat if he hasn't run off somewhere. Honestly, just a couple of things, mate. I think the mix is beautiful. Like, it's perfect in terms of, like, it's very balanced. Coming back to a little bit what I was saying, just in a different way from what I was saying, Morgan, but same idea. It just could be a bit more daring. The vocals, I lose them a little bit here, so I just want to start with that. And this loving don't change me. I don't know if it's because of the way he's singing it, or you're adding like sidechain or something, but you need to add some gain automation there, because the fact that the vocal gets quieter there doesn't make any sense. It needs to get louder there. It needs to be, change me. Like, I'm thinking of the singer on stage. They're going to belt that out, right? And because it's such a live sounding track, you need to push the volume there. And then, yeah, there's a lot of, the other thing is, right, there's like a lot of reverb bleeding. I don't know what it's from. Is it from the vocal into the drop? I don't know what there's a lot of reverb bleeding. Sorry, I just wrote what's happening. I didn't actually give you any advice. What I mean is, like, I don't like that. I think if you're going to put that reverb into the drop, you need to sidechain it, you need to filter it, you need to do something to it, because it's just kind of blurring out. All that reverb is just taking up so much space in the drop. Yeah, it is coming from the vocal, from what I can tell. I don't know if it needs that reverb from the vocal. I think you've got enough elements coming in there. If you want that reverb from the vocal, why don't you just leave a gap, like leave a 1-2 bar, and then have the tail, and then have the and like dry, working off of the kind of atmosphere. I think maybe the problem is that you're just kind of rushing into the drop here. You need to make a bit of space and then come in with the kick and bass and drums. You know what I mean? So maybe 2 to 4 bars, extend that breakdown, add more tension. All right, if you, bro. After, also, you know what it does is it gives the vocal a bit more of a spotlight, and it lets it have that moment, and then the spotlight moves across the stage to the synthesizer in a kind of more dramatic fashion. So after the vocal, leave 2 bars before the drop and introduce the trance pluck over the reverb tail of the vocal, then come in with drums. Okay. Also, your kick and bass needs to be deeper and darker. It's sitting a little high now. I need a bit more of like a techno. It's a bit pop right now. The kick and the bass. It could be bigger and darker and subbier, and have maybe a bit more definition too. So yeah, just when you've got 2 really awesome parts like that, dun 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 dun, very earwormy, great synth. Also, you could pump that sound up a little bit, but just separate the 2, see what it sounds like. I think it's going to work, but right now, this drop is just not. It's just too much of a mishmash of things going on, and which each deserve their own space. But otherwise, great track. Can't wait to hear the rest of it. Thank you for sharing that. Next, we've got Bullets May Fly Round by Gennaro Santucci. Bullets may fly around, but I'll lay down. I feel safe and sound, I'm sorry.
They just keep coming back for more, coming back.
Bullets may fly around, but I'll lay down. I feel safe and sound on solid ground. Careful talking to me, there's a devil on my shoulder. Every time you talk to me, I feel it getting colder. I'm still trying to fix it, even though I'm getting older.
Fuck it, it'll go away, there ain't no starting over. Starting over, there ain't no starting over. I'll stay with the shit, might just pick a black clover. In a rover, baby, go come closer. And I'm smoking out the window and I'm blowing fucking nose with her. Wait, what you know, sir, know about this shit. You ain't really know about that bitch. You ain't gonna roll about that shit. What you gonna say now, know about that shit. No way, yeah, watch it go away. Watch it blow up in the wind as it blow away. What you saying, yeah, you never know what to say. Yeah, you gonna walk it out, you walk it, let's fucking fly down. When I lay down, I feel safe and sound on solid ground. Bullets may fly round. When I lay down, I feel safe and sound on solid.
They just keep coming back for more, coming back.
I like that. I like that you can hear you hitting the space bar at the end as well.
Coming back.
I actually kind of like that. I think that's cool. You should keep that in. I don't know if you were meant to take it out or if it's intentional, but you should keep it in. Dude, this is amazing. It's just such a shame that your vocals are so quiet. Your vocals need to be like at least 5 decibels louder, at least. They're just completely overshadowed by the instrumental, which is amazing. Now, there's a few people in the chat saying, like, where's the kick? I don't mind that there's not a kick in that section because I'm really into the melody and I'm trying to understand what you're saying, bro. But it's quiet. Your tag is the space bar. That's funny. I like that. Please come back next week and just like resubmit it, but with louder vocals, because I would love to listen again and actually get a better understanding of what you're saying, because I think that would help me connect with the record too. So the other thing that I did notice just from like where I'm at is that the vocals do feel like they're processed quite differently to the instrumental. They sound kind of crisp and quite contemporary, whereas the instrumental feels more old school. So I think you might want to consider mixing your vocals to match the style of the record. This is, anyway, from what I could hear. So just those a few things there. So vocals need to be higher. Let me leave another note for you. They could also be mixed more in the style of the instrumental because they're too modern right now. Okay, cool. All right, guys. Well, we are at the end of the queue. Please don't spam the chat with the name of your song just yet. But the platform that we're using today is called Boombox. It's something that I've been building with a small team of super talented people to make your lives easier. So if you want to save time and cash, we basically got all the best parts of all the best platforms like DistroKid, SoundCloud, and Dropbox and put it into one place, and it's what we're using for the live streams as well. So you guys are already familiar with it. This is, a big part of me. It's something that has taken a lot of work. Shout out to the Boombox engineers and the rest of the team. They're amazing. I want to show you guys a quick video that I made that's going to take you through like almost all of the features, and there are so many I couldn't fit it in this video, so you get a better idea of what it's all about. Replace Dropbox, Google Drive, SoundCloud Pro, Disco, and DistroKid with Boombox, the all-in-one solution for musicians. Store your files, create playlists, request files, and distribute your music from one place at a single price. Access files on the go and stay synced with our mobile app and macOS app. Dive into our AI tools to spark creativity by generating chords and splitting stems. Search for your files by mood, genre, BPM, and key with our AI-powered advanced search. Share and collaborate with time-stamped feedback, password protection, and customized access permissions. Create professional playlists for pitching with analytics to see who's listening. Release your music into the wild with our inbuilt distribution. And request files from clients and collaborators with inboxes. Boombox, the all-in-one platform for music. Welcome back. So those are all the amazing features that Boombox has to offer. Plus, if you do upgrade your account, not only do you get access to all those features, but you get track priority on the live streams as well. And you'll know who the priority members are because they got this little star by their name, and that means they're verified. So anyone who has uploaded and verified and upgraded their account, thank you so much. You are the people who make these live streams possible. I want to continue to do these for as long as possible, twice a week. This just wouldn't be possible without you guys. So really big thank you. And to anyone who's thinking about signing up, I want to try and do these for as long as possible. You're essentially buying me a cup of coffee for every month for the rest of the year. And it's not just about the live stream. You also get access to a tool that you need that is essential to your music production. Okay, guys, please spam the chat with the names of your tracks. Go. Okay. Let's do this. Okay, I'm trying. Don't write it more than once, please. Don't spam the chat like that. Just write it once. Just write it once, you mother. Whaley, I can't see your track, brother. Okay, hold on. I'm getting there, guys. I'm getting there. Tyrannox. Lifetime. Is that you? Okay, guys. I'm going to add some priority folks to the queue. Morgan, we did you. Cairo, you in here, brother? I don't see you. You uploaded, but you ain't here. Horizon, I know you're here, so let me add you. Who dat? Here, oh, we did you. Calibrated, what up? Kicks, I know you're in here. Dommy. I said I would, Mondays I'm more for like free users, and then Thursdays I am prioritizing more verified members. So yeah. Oh, Kari, you're here? Okay. All right. So we are just going to, guys, if you do want guaranteed feedback on this stream, you can upgrade your account. Here's the link if you want to do that. All right. Let's go. This is Thudders by Three Lungs.
I try to make it all stop. Say I'm okay, but I'm not. No, I can't help it. I'm so jealous of you taking that place in his heart. It should be me, but it's not. Wish I could care less, but I'm so jealous of.
I try to make it all stop. I'm so it should be me, but it's not. Wish I could. I'm so say I'm okay, but I'm not. No, I can't. It should be me, but I'm not.
Ugh, guys, we're gonna need a clean up on our floor, please. Yeah, dude, I like this. The only feedback I have is please can you send in the full thing when it's done. I like that you've gone for the halftime section. I would like to hear also a section where you do put in like drum and bass rhythms. not for the whole thing, but I like that you start with this kind of more minimal beat, and then and then go to something. Then give me more drums eventually, please. But then again, don't overdo it. Keep me waiting for it. Do you know what I mean? Like tease them. Otherwise, dude, let's just give that another spin.
Stop, I'm so I'm so it should be me, but it's not. Wish I could. I'm so say I'm okay, but I'm not. No, I can't.
What I like is that it's very original. You got these kind of like happy sounds with the dirty bass. I'm just like, my brain is like, I feel like Skittles are coming out of the speakers. That's probably the best way to describe it. Really cool, man. Really, really cool. So yeah, you know what you got to do. Next, we've got Lifetime by Tyrannox.
Give me that lovely, give me that once in a lifetime. Everything I've asked for, you just keep on doing what you're doing. What you doing? Put me on time out. Hold me like wave ocean. Cover me like palm trees. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Never had my peace. Don't want you to ever leave. Don't go with the sun, stay with me. I don't wanna wake up for you. My peace. Don't want you to ever leave. Don't want the sun, stay with me. I don't wanna wake up from you. Na 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 na. Everything I've asked for, you just keep on doing what you're doing. What you doing? Put me on time out. Hold me like wave ocean. Cover me like palm trees. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Never had my peace. Don't want you to ever leave. Don't go with the sun, stay with me. I don't wanna wake up from you. My peace. Don't want you to ever leave. Don't want the sun, stay with me. I don't wanna wake up from you.
You know what? I really want to develop this live stream into something else where you guys don't just upload the track, you also upload the stems, and then I quickly take the stems and I like fix it for you guys in Logic. I think that would be really cool. So maybe we're going to start doing that for verified members, like little masterclasses. You submit your tracks, but you also submit the stems, and then you watch me fix it in real time. Because I think that would be super valuable. Okay, Tyrannox, you got a dope record here. Really, really good. Like, you've got a great song. What you haven't got, in my opinion, and I think you know this already, is a good mix. Even the production feels like, well, it's actually difficult to know what's going on in the production because I'm unable to tell due to the mix. So, okay, look, here's what I'm thinking. This mix, you got to start with one of two things. Now, personally, when there's a lead vocal in a song, I always start with the vocal. But I start with getting the best dry vocal possible, okay, before I add effects. Okay, I think people add reverb very early, and this can fuck up your mixing because then you're relying on the response of the reverb to dictate where the vocal should go. Now, this can work sometimes, but in this scenario, especially if you're like struggling with mixing, it can take. For personally, I don't think it's the right approach. Get the vocal to sound really, 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 really good dry. Okay, now when I say dry, I mean no long reverb. You can put short reverbs, you can put short decays, short delays, you can put chorus effects, you can put little things like that. But essentially, the vocal sounds dry. It needs to sound up front. It's the most important part of the track. It sounds very processed here. It sounds very filtered. It's just swimming in reverb. It's drowning. Okay, next. You've done the vocal. Now those drums, they got to slap, bro. They got to slap. Like, da, da. You know what I mean? Make them dynamic. Make them feel good. Again, is the sample selection good enough? Do you need to layer some of those samples? Drums shouldn't really take a lot of mixing because you already have access to loads of incredibly well-processed samples through Splice. You should be able to just layer the sounds that you have, or maybe you don't even layer them. You swap them out, and they should sound good already. Now, okay, maybe you want to put a tiny bit of reverb on this or a little bit of overdrive on that. But otherwise, not really. Once you get the vocal and the drum balance right, the rest is going to fall into place. It will even feel like somewhat irrelevant, okay? So, I've written all those notes. I hope that's useful. Do a save as, take all the plugins off, and start from scratch. Get that vocal sounding like the best pop vocal R&B vocal you've ever heard, and then go from there. Okay. Next, we've got Wizard Blood, Sunset Drive. This is really cool, man. I think this has so much potential here. Like, it's I never heard you do something housey blended with your sort of Stranger Things cinematic soundscape. So I love that combination because I'm obviously a big fan of house music, but I'm also a big fan of what you do, Jason. And you've got a great sound here, a great song. It just needs a good mix. Okay, so here's my advice, man. You've got something great here. What I think it's lacking is like really strong drums. And there's a great sample pack, which I use a lot. So I want to share it with you guys it's by a guy called Oliver. and he has these sample packs called Power Tools, and some of the sounds are from like vintage drum machines, and some are like more kind of newer sounds. Anyway, they all slap. They sound so good, and I think you could take some of those loops, you could take some of those sounds and add it to this, and it's going to give you a benchmark for where all the other sounds should be too, because those drum sounds are so good and so well processed that you shouldn't really need to do anything else to them, and then you can kind of enhance the rest of the record to match the quality of those drum samples from like a mix perspective. But I think it's a dope song, like really, really good. Let me just write that for you, bro. Check out Oliver Power Tools samples on Splice. All right, next we've got Horizon Run. Cool track. Thank you so much for submitting that, Horizon. Okay, so first things first, as soon as the drums came in, I was like, now this is something I'm really guilty of too. I like big, bright, flashy drums, but unfortunately I make them bright too often and they overshadow the rest of the track, and I think that's exactly what's going on here. When the drums come in, they just sit too far apart. They're very bright, which means they're kind of fatiguing to listen to. Everything before it, though, is like really nice and warm and inviting. When the drums come in, it's like, tss, 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 tss. You know what I mean? Like, they're just all a little clicky, and I think, I don't know if this is the processing that you've added to the group, or maybe this, the processing you could add to the group of drums would be, I would use a high shelf and take all those high frequencies down, or something like a Pultec EQ, use the shelf on the Pultec, which sounds really musical. It kind of softens the transients a little bit as well. And that can just make things sound much nicer. Right now, like I said, it's just way too bright and not particularly enjoyable to listen to, which is a shame because the track is fantastic. So really just a small mixing change there, to be honest. I think that's a quick fix. Here, the lead that you bring in. I really like this lead. However, I just feel that it's not aggressive enough. You haven't been daring with it, and I think that's such a shame because it's tight, dude. It's really, really tight. Like, it sounds it's exactly what the track needs, but I feel like you're just scared to like let it go and let it run. It almost sounds like an electric guitar. Maybe lean into that a little bit more automation as well. Automate like some reverb directly on the channel, open the decay and the cutoff like we spoke about before. Give me a little bit more, be a bit more daring, make it dynamic. Don't be scared to do that. Okay, let's go to the next track. This is After Hours by Calibrated.
Oh, man. It's late as fuck. The sun is coming out. It's a long ass night, but I feel good. I really give a fuck what you think. You can judge me till your face turn pink. Just with the show when we did what you can't. Luck and I'm drunk and I'm far in the paint. I'm in Prague, she's in Nor. Never really seen a black man with charm. Hopped in the cab and we off to the bar on the other side of town where the drinks come strong. 5 in the morning, another night young, but she yawning. Took her to the tail, let her feel what she wanted. I know I did it big, I could tell by her moaning. In the morning, in the morning. Get all crazy, got you made it from the 89. Girl, you all up in my mind, I just wanna see you go shining. Let's go, let's go. I'm taking a long gas flight overseas, sleeping on the plane until I reach Germany. Trying to group of people in Berlin, they heard of me. Stepping on stage to murder shit around 3. Sneaky motherfuckers usually surround me, but I don't clown. They got left on my sound. They wanna see a party go down with a cigarette burning past the 50 degrees. In the club, hot mic fees. They hop like these when they feel the energy. They got the rock white tees, but they love Lil me. They love a Lil me. I'm on the west side of town, a tiny little spot where it all goes down. A black new world in the bottom of the village. Cute little girls with they black bottom vintage. High heel boots and they sipping $2 Cabernet, Duke joint spinning. Late night nigga cabaret never ended. Lindy hopping to newbie bopping, and fools be stopping through fitted. Wonder where it was, better get it. Or holla at me, holla if you with it. That's my nigga. Yeah. It was a foreign exchange like tagging it. Eating Mickey D's breakfast at 6 a.m. Ain't nothing fly than a Japanese sunrise. I wasn't just trying to hit it like some guy. Hash browns, hot cakes, and I clean my plate. I can't count on the bullshit that I didn't make. She told me that she spoke English and I said great. Grabbed her hand out the club and I said let's go. Man, this life's so special. When the stress and the strife try to test you, DUI and they try to arrest you. Ready coming home from the club, God bless you. Get all crazy, got you made it from the 89. Girl, you all up in my mind. I just wanna see you go shining. Let's go.
Really cool, man. I mean, I can tell you already that section there. So I love this. I think the vibe is immaculate. I totally get what you mean by creating something for like a more chilled set. Like overall, it's a wicked track, man. So just one thing that immediately came to mind, the kick is way too clicky. I think you need a different kick, something warmer, more inviting, that matches the instrumental. The click that you're using, it just feels too EDM for the record. Now, I like how it's adding a contemporary tone to the track and it makes it more obvious that it's a remix, but I think it's just a little distracting. Again, those transient drums can be fatiguing on the ears, so just what you could do is you could always reduce the transient. Again, I would love to show you in Logic exactly how I would do that, but it's great. Now with the rapping, I love the rapping, but part of me is like, could you take, for example, this chorus here. See, even when I play it really quietly, I can still hear the click of the kick. Listen. Like, it's really aggressive. Okay. Part of me is like, I would love to hear... a product of 50. Yeah, that makes sense. Totally. Because you boost high frequencies when you have tired ears. So I would love to hear, like, one of the hooks repeated more frequently throughout the song. Right now, it's like an instrumental with a vocal over the top. I wouldn't really call it necessarily like a remix. It's more like a a bootleg, which is fine, by the way. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. But for me, this is more of a bootleg rather than a remix. A remix is where you take the elements and you edit them to do something different from the original rather than just layering it over the top of one another. So could you take the hook and do something with the hook, repeat it a little bit more often, make that the sort of the driving motif of the record? Possibly. Guys, also don't forget to write comment on your track that you've uploaded with your Instagram handle so I can tag you guys on Instagram. I do a top picks every 2 weeks. I used to do one every week, but honestly it was just like too much. But yeah, just make sure you do @ and then your Instagram handle so I can like do a little screen recording, tag you guys, get you guys more promotion, more eyes on your amazing music. Okay, next we've got Football by Kicks. No way is this getting used in a Nike football ad. That's huge. Kicks, please share it with us when it gets released. I would love to do what we can to support. Sheesh. God damn. I like that because you've taken the Brazilian funk, but you've also blended it with like Latin, like it's like Mexican, traditional Mexican music, right? Oh no, sorry, not Mexican, Cuban, right? You've taken like Cuban and Brazilian funk and blended the two together, and it sounds incredible, dude. Incredible. This is amazing. I love it. No, I like how distorted the 808 is. I think it's what gives it that kind of. I think if it wasn't distorted, there would be too many clean elements. And you've got that nice contrast, and the distortion you've used is very tasteful. I don't think it's like it doesn't sound like a broken speaker. It kind of sounds like a football being kicked. You know, like it's cool. It's just great. It's really, really great. Fantastic. Well, thank you, Jordan, for upgrading. I really appreciate that. Thank you to everyone who's upgraded their accounts. It really, really, really means the world. We're really trying to make a big change here in the music industry with Boombox. If I can get Boombox popping off, do you know what I mean? Like all the producers and musicians using it. The best thing about it is like when you guys give feedback, we add that to a list and we take that list very, very seriously. So if people give like, let's say we have like 100 people being like, yo, I want this feature, we will get that built ASAP. Like we are building this off of user feedback. It's not like some big corporation goes for 6 people. You know what I mean? And we want to please you because we want you to use the program, to share music, to comment, to collaborate and all that shit. And my dreams for Boombox actually lie outside of the app. Like, yes, the app, I think the platform is just the beginning of something like that's so much bigger. I want to build small communities and studios around the world where people can meet up face to face, like where Boombox members can show up, play their tunes to each other, connect with other people, collaborate, learn in person, maybe get people to do masterclasses. Like Kicks, you could do a masterclass on how you made this beat. Like, not necessarily like people who are like myself, who are, you know, like presenting or hosting. I'm talking like you guys hosting masterclasses and sharing your tips and tricks, because ultimately you guys are the ones with the talent. So if we can get all the musicians and all the engineers into Boombox, and all the vocalists and everything, then we can just like take this to the next level. This is just the beginning. It's going to take some time to build, like, you know, these things always do when you're trying to build something on this scale. But guys, I'm telling you, if we get this right, I want to take over Spotify. Do you know what I mean? I want to actually create a company that's going to also get musicians paid fairly and give people a better chance, just so like we can all enjoy the fruits of our labor. All right, enough of me ranting. Sorry, I just went off on one, but I'm just feeling particularly passionate, and I think it's because you guys are just firing out some absolute bangers. Next, we've got Dommy DJ. This is called Cold Heart. Looks like it.
fit almost all I need. Held up to the sun, I was trying to reach you, even if it's just about you, about you, about you. Heaven knows the way you hold me, heaven knows I feel this lonely, even though the way they show me, letting go, I feel it slowly. Guess you let go hard, guess you understand.
Okay, I think this is really beautiful, Dom. I mean, you are an incredibly talented musician. I love watching your Instagram stories. You guys should check out Dom's Instagram stories. He's always sharing what he's up to, which I really like, and I wish I did more of that recently. I know I've been a little quiet on the socials, but we're still doing the live stream, and that's what's important. So, Dom, there's just something for me that's not quite sitting here. Like it is awesome, but I feel like I'm looking for something else. Now, I either think you go more chill or less chill. Right now, it's kind of like it's chill, but it's kind of trying to give me some energy in certain points, but then it isn't. And then it's going back to I'm trying to figure out, like, where does this sit? Like, it's a beautiful record, and ultimately, you don't have to change shit. But I'm just trying to think, like, do I want this to pump me up more, or do I want it to mellow me out more, right? I think maybe it's something to do with the balance as well, like certain drums could come up. I don't like the clap sample. I would change the clap sample. The clap, all right here, the clap sounds a little dark. Like, if it's going to pump me up more, I would want to hear, like, more percussion, like cowbells, things like that, go-go's. You kind of have it, but maybe, like, right now they're just kind of supporting elements in the background, but you know, like, there's something missing there to drive, you know, like the chords are like da da, and the bass is kind of mellow too, but I think it needs something just to drive a bit of the rhythm. You know what I mean? You know, just something there, just to keep driving it. Like all these elements, like like they're all nice, but they're all supporting elements. Like, where is the lead outside of the vocal? Where's the instrumental lead? Because everything else is beautiful, dog. And we spoke. It's funny because, like, when we do the streams, there usually is like one topic that comes up frequently, and it's different every single stream. And I feel like today is really about the motif, the earworm. Like, you guys are making these awesome tracks where you have these supporting elements. And by the way, guys, this is something I struggle with too. I'm not like here just telling you I get this right every time. No, I make a track, and I'm like, yeah, cool, it's a vibe, it's good, it's got the foundation. But where's like the driving element? Where's like the section of the track that's like, you know, it's pumping me up a little bit. It's driving the groove, it's driving the melody. It just needs more of that, right? And so you need to figure out what that is. And it just doesn't quite have it yet. But maybe this is the way you want it to be, and I also don't want to interfere with that. Those are just my thoughts. All right, next we've got Cairo X Foreign Beggars. Is this a remix? Oh, I couldn't play it, bro. What happened? It said no. Did you delete it? Why can't I play it? Let me try and find it again. That's never happened to me. Hold on, I'm gonna refresh the page. Maybe we broke Boombox. Too many bangers. Too many bangers. Okay, it's working now.
Right now in our right now in our right now in our wrong with people. Look in my eye, you can see the evil. What? This are the cop shop sequel. Tight like me grandmother girdle. Typical devil living now we circle. And if you walk, unacceptable. Well, lyrics of fresh and a recycle. Cause when we touch them, we unpredictable. Hey, some boy, you a dirty disease. Catch up on road, we will kill you up on street. No bother wait till things go get big. We will left you jump on sound disease. Right now in our right now in our you know that they dance like a common thief. Kill. You know that they dance like a common thief. Kill us some boy, and we not do it softly. Roll you up, make the agony increase. Mess with it.
Okay, bro, this is fire. Like, really love this. This is so good. I just want to stop it here because there's just one thing that I feel like this is a trick that you mix here, and I was kind of expecting it to happen, but here it should just be the bass and the vocal for the first like 2 bars of the drop, just bass and vocal, just to give the listener just a moment to vibe with those 2 parts, which are so big and so tasty. Da da na 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 boom, boom, and then come in with it. You know what I mean? Like rather than coming in with the drums.
You know that they dance like a you know that they dance like a common thief.
There.
Kill us some boy.
Just the bass sounds and the vocal for 2 bars, and then come in with the drums again and the pad and shit in the background.
Yeah, we not do it softly. Roll you up, make the agony increase. Mess with it, it will kill you.
And you have the pads that repeat about that. You have the vocal kind of pad, and then that note, it sits up there. You could drop it down an octave every so often. Boom, ba, boom. I think it's staying there. It kind of actually it gets a little irritating. So if you dropped it down or like did something to like just really F with it, dude, like just pitch it down, but don't pitch it down on the synth. Pitch it down with like a pitch shifter, so the quality just like degrades massively. Eesh. That's pretty. Oh, bro, this is great. This is great. Different from what you usually send in, but absolutely loving this. Very, very sick. Okay, guys, we are at the end of the queue. I am going to ask you for more tracks in a second. But before we do that, I just want to share a short video that I made on Boombox, which is my platform that we're using today. Check it out. Replace Dropbox, Google Drive, SoundCloud Pro, Disco, and DistroKid with Boombox, the all-in-one solution for musicians. Store your files, create playlists, request files, and distribute your music from one place at a single price. Access files on the go and stay synced with our mobile app and macOS app. Dive into our AI tools to spark creativity by generating chords and splitting stems. Search for your files by mood, genre, BPM, and key with our AI-powered advanced search. Share and collaborate with time-stamped feedback, password protection, and customized access permissions. Create professional playlists for pitching with analytics to see who's listening. Release your music into the wild with our inbuilt distribution. And request files from clients and collaborators with Inboxes. Boombox, the all-in-one platform for musicians. Welcome back. So if you do upgrade your account, you get access to all of those things and you get track priority, which is essentially you buying me a cup of coffee every month for the rest of the year. And you get to come to every single live stream. You get access to all those insanely sick features, which we've been building over the past 3 years. And you also get to support the live streams, which means these live streams continue to happen. We continue to get to hang out. And this is honestly like so special to me. I hope you guys feel the same way. It's an incredible community. And the community also continues outside of the live stream. Okay, so there is a WhatsApp group. I'm gonna share it with you now. Just getting the link. And the WhatsApp group, for the WhatsApp group, I only accept people into the WhatsApp group during the live stream. The reason being is I only want super talented producers and musicians just like yourselves. And otherwise, it used to be like a public group, and we just got so many bots in there. It was really annoying everyone. So it's private. So if I'm accepting you, I know you're coming in from the live stream because the only time you have access to it is right now. Okay. So anyone else upgraded? Let me know in the chat. Otherwise, I would love you all to write the name of your track in the chat right now. Just adding those in, guys. Won't Wait. I don't see a track called Won't Wait here. Oh, no, I do. Ignore me. Beat 47. Okay, let's do this. Okay, Diva, this is cool, man. I think this is like a great track. Now, it's very, very, very long. And one of the things I'll say is, man, I like the sound selection. I like the vibes. I'm trying to figure out like what the intention of the track is. Like, I mean, of course you're making it for yourself, but where do you hear it played? What environment do you want this track to be sort of performed in? And the one thing that I'm kind of like trying to figure out is that you give away a lot in the beginning. It doesn't really have the opportunity to progress anywhere, and then it's kind of just like a layer on top of 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 a layer. Do you know what I mean? There's no like pulling back. There's no there aren't any sections of the track where it's more minimal, and we get to enjoy a little more silence, less energy to recover, and then it keeps sort of building and building and building. It's not dynamic enough, exactly, but it's just quite consistent all the way through. 8 minutes is a long time for a track. What I always recommend to people is, can you make the track sound amazing like in 3 minutes? Can you do a 3-minute track, make it sound dope? If you can do that, then you can do the 8-minute version. But if at 2 minutes 11, I was kind of like, okay, it's for yourself. I mean, that's amazing. I mean, that's why we should make music, right? But it's just more considering the environment. It's fantastic. But could you take me on more of a journey? If this is seriously tripping, trips don't usually start that intensely. They kind of build and build and build and build, and then they soften and they make you feel relaxed, and then they make you angsty. You know what I mean? So I'm just trying to like play to that as well. When I'm making a track, personally, I like to conceptualize where I am, what I'm doing, how I'm feeling. And that might sound kind of spiritual and a bit juju, but it's just the truth. Like, I do those things to help me embody my emotion and put it onto paper, and then think about what's around me. Is it nature? Is it people? Is it concrete? Is it cushions? Right? But yes, no need to apologize. Thank you so much for sharing it. That's cool. Okay, next we've got Whaley. Lose Yourself. Whaley, it's been a while, mate. Where have you been? Excited to hear this. Really cool, Whaley. Always bringing some fantastic techno records to the stream. So here's where I'm at, man. Just the last part of the melody at the end of every 2 bars and every 4 bars. Could you use a different synth for the end of the melody? Because otherwise that sound gets a bit repetitive. It was like dun 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 dun. New synth here. Bam 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 bam. Dun 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 dun. New synth. Bam 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 bam. Right? I think that's going to help add more drama to the track, because otherwise that sound just gets a little repetitive here. The energy dies too quickly in this section. You're like filtering the hi-hats as well, which I can hear. Or you're filtering something, but it loses. Okay, here you need a boom. Boom, boom, boom. So like a big swelling synth that just goes, you lose too much energy here, which is a shame. You don't need to lose the energy here. You need to keep it going. And then distorted toms. Bam, 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 bam. 2, 3, 4. Bam. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. Like that. Keep the energy up. Keep the emotion there. It just kind of fades, and then it's like, way too much going on here, bro. It's like the lead and the vocal, and it's like, what are we supposed to be listening to? The lead is really loud. You can't hear the vocal. You need to make a decision in this breakdown. There's too much going on. Also, I don't like the snare and the snare roll. It sounds too light, too pretty, too nice. You need something with more cajones. Like that snare could also, you could pitch the snare up, so it's like you know, just something like a little, just something, and another riser there or something to add to the drama. At the end of every 4 bars, just do something different, because with that synth, because otherwise it gets repetitive. Introduce a new synth and break it up. Introduce a tom. Otherwise, it just gets a little bit like you know, like it's just a bit much. It's such a great synth, but just because something's good, you don't want to overuse it. It's like salt in cooking. Do you know what I mean? Like salt makes things taste better. You add too much salt, and you're like, I don't want to eat it anymore. I don't have a Discord community, Thomas, but I do have a WhatsApp community. It's the best freaking WhatsApp community in the world. Thank you to our amazing members. So do make sure that you join. There's lots of different channels in there, some for promoting your music, some for just chit-chatting, and also a one if you want to ask questions. Okay, next we've got Hope's End by Lone Harmony. This is super cool. Like, I don't expect the drop every single time, and I love that. I think it needs a vocal. Who uploaded this? What is your name? Lone Harmony. Lone Harmony. Yeah, I think this needs like a really good vocal, and then you're in a great spot. That bit, like on the drop is great. It's really really great. Okay, next Saleh. Won't wait. Let's go.
There's something in the water I can tell, but you don't feel it. I don't wanna wait for you to call me when you're lost. You're standing in the fire, living hell, but you don't see it. The time don't stop, won't wait for no one. I won't wait, won't wait, won't wait. I won't wait, won't wait, won't wait. I won't wait, won't wait, won't wait. The time don't stop, won't wait for no one. The time don't stop, won't wait for no one. The time don't stop, won't wait for no one. I won't wait, won't wait, won't wait. I won't wait, won't wait, won't wait. I won't wait, won't wait, won't wait. The time don't stop, won't wait for no one. The time don't stop, won't wait for no one. I can't wait for the time when you don't pass me by.
So a really, really sick track here. I'm going to be honest, I actually don't agree with what people are saying in the chat. I think you've absolutely nailed this. I think the mix is great. I think the sound selection is fantastic. There's one thing though, bro. There is one thing. That din 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 din. Okay. That pluck that you have is the only thing that I think needs to change.
The time don't stop, won't wait for no one.
Bam, 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 bam. I love the melody and I love the rhythm, but the sound just isn't, it's just not enough. It's not enough. I think you could be more creative and I think you could be way more daring with that sound and find something that's a bit more quirky. It's just a little clean. I know you want something tight and clean, but the rest of the track is really tight and clean, right? So now you need to add a bit of contrast. You've got the melody, you've got the rhythm, but could you make it a little more wonky here, okay, without going too far, but something that makes me go, ugh, where did that come from? Do you know what I mean? Like, okay, that's something different. That's cool. Whatever that might be, I'm not sure. We would have to mess around, and that might take a while. But that's just like, that's, guys, when it comes to writing a track, a lot of the time, I don't know if it's the same for you or not, but I can get the foundation, like the main parts of the track down, maybe within like an hour or 2 hours. I can get a pretty solid track. Like, you could call it a finished track. But those bits that make it special, they take forever. Like finding the right preset or working on that transition to make sure the energy shifts or the arrangement and the structure. You know what I mean? Those are the bits that take forever. I mean, dude, if you're happy with it, Sailor, then keep it. I'm just telling you, like, you got a great track. You could take it up a notch by introducing something here that just feels, honestly, just like more original. And like, what is the Sailor sound? Do you know what I mean? Like, what is your sound? Because these are great sounds, but I'm not sure that it's telling me about your personality, right? I want to know more about you as a producer and what drives you to play in the club and create, what sounds make your face melt in the sound. So just some things to think about. Maybe it could be just that you could just make the processing more interesting on it, potentially, or automate the decay or automate the cutoff, just something to make it a bit more interesting. Soleil. Thank you for correcting me. Okay, next we've got Beat 47 by Oliver. Incredible beat, really well produced, amazing choice of samples. The mix is fire as well. Beautiful violins in the background. Oliver, you smashed this. Let me know if you're in the chat, Oliver. So I just got one thing. I wonder if, like, again, a little bit of wonkiness, like some of the parts could just wobble in and out of tune a little bit more. I know you got the on the da-da-da-da-da-da-da on the triplet up in the background, but could you accentuate that further? Could you overdo that? Just like the whole beat is fire, bro. It's clean. I'm not trying to like take away from that. I just feel like, is it maybe too clean and too perfect? And that's the way I feel, and I know that's the intention, and that's such a weird thing to say, like, it's too perfect, like, it's too good, but it is. It's amazing, bro. I'm just thinking, like, how could you put a bit of, like, intentional imperfection into the track. And again, lean into like the emotion and the personality of the record. I don't know how maybe you would best do that, but I'm sure you could figure out a way. Anyway, on that note, thank you everyone for submitting your amazing music. I will be back on Monday at the same time. It's every Monday and Thursday. If you haven't joined my WhatsApp group, make sure you do. I'm going to drop it in the chat right now. It's the best place to be. I'll update you exactly when the live streams are happening, but you can also come and hang out and you can submit your music there for further feedback from the community. This has been an absolute pleasure. Don't forget to upgrade your account on Boombox if you want track priority on the next stream, and you won't have to wait until the end of the stream to get feedback on your track, because it will be chosen as one of the first ones. It's been a pleasure as always, and I'll see you very soon.